tonight. Early morning mist will give way to give a dry and mostly bright day tomorrow. Temperatures will range from plus 7 degrees tomorrow afternoon, and the very light winds will be... That's it from the TVS newsroom. Don't forget to join us at 11 tonight when we'll have our last news bulletin, and we're now going over to ITN for the national and international news.
Followed by the world news at 6:30. And then a lighter look at life through the eyes of Frank Topping, Donald Swan and Marion Davis in Sunday Best. At 7:15, Heart to Heart brings undersea adventure for Jonathan and Jennifer after a yacht is wrecked with a fortune in gold on board. Father Charlie will be trying to raise a more modest amount of money for the central heating system in the convent. He holds a summer fete at 8:15. Alan Wicker recalls people with money and power at 9 o'clock. And then the new comedy, Whoops Apocalypse, promises to break new ground for TV at 10 o'clock. And when we join Melvin Bragg in the South Bank show at 10:30, we'll be meeting Richard Alston, who's choreographer for the Ballet Rambert. Now on TVS Radio.
Sunday's entertainment on TVS. Millionaire detective Jonathan and Jennifer Hart stumble upon a fortune installed in the wreckage of a sunken yacht. Heart to Heart at 7:15. At 8:15, Father Charlie helps with a summer fete when the convent need money to replace a boiler.
Who on earth going to buy this? What is it?
I have no idea.
Right, mystery prize, Stombola.
In Around Wicker's World in 25 years at 9 o'clock, Alan Wicker talks to some of the most memorable millionaires he's met on his travels. A new series, Whoops Apocalypse, begins at 10 o'clock.
Left again. And do you think that the blindfold is...
I am wearing it now.
At 10 o'clock, Whoops Apocalypse chronicles the outrageous events leading up to World War III. Some of your programs for Sunday on TVS.
Good evening. Police in Kent are trying to trace the last movements of a 41-year-old man from the village of Elvington near Dover who was found dead yesterday. The body of Brian Onions was discovered in the garden of his 3-bedroomed council house in Adelaide Road at Elvington. A post-mortem has revealed that he died of gunshot wounds, but police say they won't know if he was murdered until they get the result of forensic tests. In the meantime, they're treating the death with suspicion, and they say they'd like to hear from anyone who may have heard gunshots in the area yesterday afternoon. Mr. Onions, who is unemployed, was involved in a shooting incident 2 months ago when he had hospital treatment. Police have named the woman who was killed in a head-on collision between 2 cars on the A23 road at Pycombe, north of Brighton. She was Mrs. Anne Richardson, aged 34, of Fairview at Brighton. 5 other people were seriously injured in the crash, including her 12-year-old daughter and 2 other children. Medical block at Southampton University has been severely damaged by fire. The cost of the damage has been put at tens of thousands of pounds, but just as bad, the fire has destroyed months of original research. The university say that most, if not all, of the experiments will have to be started again, and they've described the loss as heartbreaking. The fire broke out in the chemistry laboratory at 3:30 this morning. When firemen arrived at the scene, there were fears that some people were trapped inside the building. But after a quick search, they gave the all clear and set about containing the flames. Because of toxic fumes given off by burning chemicals, including small amounts of radioactive material, they had to wear breathing apparatus. The chemistry lab was completely destroyed by the fire, and there was extensive damage to laboratories above and below, but no one was hurt, and the laboratory animals on the top floor were also unharmed. The fire is thought to have been caused by an electrical fault. A centre for unemployed workers at Brighton has been damaged by National Front supporters. They hurled bricks and stones through windows while trade unionists and students were holding a meeting inside on Northern Ireland. No one was hurt. 6 youths who were questioned by police after the attack have now been released. Princess Anne and Captain Mark Phillips have been taking part in the annual Crookham Horse Trials at Tweedledown Racecourse near Aldershot. It was the first outing of the new season, and for Princess Anne, who rode Stevie B, one of the Queen's horses, it was good preparation for the badminton trials later this year. The Princess, one of 600 riders competing over 3 days, scored good marks in the dressage event this morning, but her husband, Captain Phillips, didn't compete in today's event. A record crowd turned out to see the royal couple at the racecourse. An idea to clear out household junk has been tried out in Southampton. The Keep Southampton Tidy group invited people to bring their junk along to the Bedford Place car park where they could have their pick of any bargains going. The unwanted items included old televisions, washing machines and chimney pots, which amazingly enough were quickly snapped up. Everything left over was taken away by the council. Keep Tidy group think it's a good way around the problem of council tips being closed at weekends, and they're hoping that other tidy-minded people will give the idea a go. Thousands of people lined the streets of Winchester today for the first People's Marathon to be run in the city. More than 2,000 runners took part in the 26-mile race, including visitors from Germany and America. They had to battle against strong winds, but they were given plenty of encouragement to help them along. The winner was the favourite, 38-year-old Barry Watson, who ran for Britain in the 1976 Montreal Olympics. His time, 2 hours, 22 minutes, and that was despite an injury to his right calf. The event was the brainchild of the mayor of Winchester, Ian Bidgood, who ran a half-marathon along with his American counterpart, the mayor of Winchester in Virginia. Peter Clark spoke to the winner, Barry Watson, and to 20-year-old Richard Toulson, one of 2 disabled men who did the half-marathon in their wheelchairs.
How did it go, Barry?
Well, I found it very tough. I had more opposition than I thought I'd have, for one thing. Not only from the wind and the hills, but also from Alan McGee over there, who ran me hard for at least well over half the race. So I found it hard work.
Richard, how do you feel now?
Exhausted, but really grateful it's over.
Now, tell me about the course. I mean, what were the trickiest parts?
The trickiest part was the roads themselves. Where they've been built, they've got like a crown, and therefore, if you go on the left-hand side of the road, you get pulled towards the left-hand side all the time. And so it's all left-handed work all the time.
The first of 40,000 boxes of flowers arrived at Herne Airport near Bournemouth today from Guernsey. They're for Mother's Day next Sunday, and they'll be sold at florists and markets all over the country. The flowers include daffodils and favourites like carnations, roses and freesias. Everyone a special thank you to mothers everywhere. A couple of windsurfers have gone through a mock wedding on the beach at Brighton. Chris Jackson and his fiancée Carol Sharman are getting married properly tomorrow at Worthing Register Office, but first they thought they'd do it their way, and they persuaded the Vice Commodore of Brighton Cruising Club, John Martin, to unite them in a somewhat unconventional ceremony near the Palace Pier. Surprise, surprise, Chris and Carol are honeymooning in the surfer's paradise of Hawaii, where Chris will be competing in the World Surfing Championships. A big police search was launched in underground tunnels near Dover after 3 children were thought to be trapped underground. But a short while ago, police reported the youngsters safe and well. And finally, the weather. Rain will spread to most places tonight and persist into the morning tomorrow, but brighter, showery weather will spread east to all but Essex and Kent by evening.